Hello, hello. Today we are discussing a bit of an unusual build for Dungeons & Dragons, that of the mesmerizing, psychologically manipulative Hypnotist. Now, a key feature of this build is its focus on intelligence as a primary stat. This is not a charisma-based manipulator who is, just so charming and so good with people that you can kind of pull a fast one. This is a cold, calculating, clinical person who has studied the techniques and executes them with scientific precision to manipulate their opponents. As a result, I actually really like the Vidalcan race for this particular build. The Vidalcan has Vidalcan Dispassion, which I think is just really appropriate for this kind of like archetype. And we are going to get a bonus to our intelligence as well, which can be very helpful when we go on to take the Wizard class. As a Wizard, we are going to get spellcasting. We're going to flavor all of this spellcasting as various mentalist tricks and kind of manipulations, techniques that you're doing, tones that are ringing out that affect people's mind. And as you get more and more advanced in your studies, you're going to get more and more powerful ways to manipulate those around you. Right here, we're going to get the cantrip of Friends, Minor Illusion, and, of course, Mind Sliver. For our first level spells, we'll grab Charm Person, and of course, Sleep.
Sleep.
At second level, we are taking our subclass. This is what drew me to this build in the first place, was that beautiful ability of the Enchanter subclass. Our second level Enchantment Wizard is going to get Hypnotic Gaze, which allows you to fix your gaze on a target and hold them in place if they fail a saving throw. Resourceless ability to shut down enemies is so useful for a control wizard. And I really liked the ability and I wanted to build it into one of these kind of like thematic archetypal builds. The ability you're going to have is you're going to be the best in the business, especially here at second level, third level, up until when maybe banishment becomes a factor. You are going to be the best at separating out some of the opponents and shutting them down so that your allies can focus on the rest. This is a build that is very much like a control wizard character. You're going to be relying a great deal upon your spell save DC, so you're maximizing intelligence to the extent of all others, so that you can shut down these opponents with your abilities. To that end, we are also going to pick up Hold Person.
Any suggestions, spell?
At this level. Hold Person can do something very similar to our Hypnotic Gaze. Sometimes you do want to be able to put out that concentration spell and then grab a Hypnotic Gaze as well. So in combat, here at second level, you are first maybe casting a Hold Person or some other concentration-based spell. On your second turn, you're going to start your Hypnotic Gaze on a target, and then you're going to use your action on subsequent turns to maintain it. This keeps 2 enemies down, increasing your presence on the battlefield. Fourth level, take that ASI to Intelligence so that your spell save goes even further up. And then at 5th level, we're getting our 3rd level spells, and of course we've got to grab Hypnotic Pattern, and I think this one's pretty fun, Catnap. Now, putting people to sleep isn't just for enemies, it's for allies as well. At 6th level, we're grabbing an ability called Instinctive Charm from the Enchantment Wizard class. This allows you, as a reaction when someone attacks you, to force them to make a wisdom saving throw, attacking a different target if they fail. This is great survivability for us, and of course we want to be keeping up our concentration-based spells, so that's fantastic. It gives us a reaction ability, which is really good, and there is some potential to redirect some damage onto an enemy. I think it's pretty rare that you are going to be in a scenario where 2 enemies are close enough that you can redirect the attack onto it, but in such a scenario, this is going to be a very clutch maneuver you can pull out. At 7th level, we're getting 4th level spells, so we are going to grab Compulsion and Charm Monster. Now we are not just affecting humanoids, which was a bit of an Achilles heel for this class. We really wanted to be in a campaign with a lot of humanoid enemies so we can psychologically manipulate them. But beasts and monsters don't have the same kind of minds. But with Charm Monster, we've begun to get a handle on how to affect such creatures. Then at 8th level, we are just capping off our intelligence. We are just going to max that out. Now our spell save DC is as high as we can get it. And at 9th level, we're getting access to our 5th level spells. Here we're going to grab spells like Dominate Person to demonstrate our mastery over the humanoid mind. We're going to grab Gas to implant a subtle suggestion into their subconscious that they must enact for days at a time. And I think as well as we get a 10th level and we get an additional spell known, we're going to grab Modify Memory so that we can meddle with the memories of our enemies. Lots of fun shenanigans if you've got some downtime and a hostage to play with this particular spell. At 10th level, we are getting an amazing capstone ability from our Enchanter Wizard, which is Split Enchantment. Now, when we have a spell that targets one creature, which many of our spells do, you can have it split and target a second creature as well. This means that opening turn of combat, you're using that concentration spell, you're affecting 2 targets, and then turning around on your next turn, unleashing that hypnotic gaze to shut down a 3rd target. You are resisting attacks by an enemy, so you're maintaining your concentration even better, and your spell save is as high as it can go, with a couple of options in your spell kit for attacking multiple groups of enemies should the need arise. It's not the highest damage build. In fact, there's very little damage on the build at all. It certainly doesn't have a lot of support, but the control and utility offered here, the ability to manipulate your opponents to choose who you fight and who you don't, is unparalleled with this psychological saboteur. Enjoy. If you like the build and you want to play it at your table, the best way to do that is by subscribing to my Patreon. I put all the character sheets for all these builds at levels 1, 3, and 10 up on my Patreon. Just $1 gets you access to all of it. So that's the best deal out there as far as D&D patrons are concerned. Give it a look. Link in the description. Look into my eyes. Stare deeply into my eyes.